Hello.
Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to Man's Hour, episode 45 on age gaps. I'm joined by two men of power here. First, making his triumphant return to Man's Hour, it is our boy Nuke. How are you, sir?
What's going on, guys? Nuclear Calillo here. Nuke for short. Glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, cool. Always a pleasure to have you on. And Governor, pulling a double shift today. Always appreciate you coming on. How's it going, man?
Going really good. Glad to be here as always.
Yeah, fantastic. So, gentlemen, we are gathered here today, kind of spur of the moment, to be honest, because I tweeted out this meme yesterday, just a complete fucking throwaway. And it's funny when the ones you never expect to catch on just go absolutely nuts. And this was one of them here. Let me add this stream here. So the tweet in question here, who I've since blocked because I've been told this is now ran by a man, but that's besides the point. We need to talk about how age gaps like this are legal. The difference in live life experiences and wealth strips away any facade of consent. This is borderline something that we're not allowed to say on YouTube, but you can fill in the gap there. Basically, what's going on here is old Al Pacino here, still trucking along here, about to push 90, and apparently is having another kid. Apparently, with this 29-year-old girlfriend of his. So naturally, I respond with just this throwaway meme. We got a 30-year-old guy here and a 21-year-old girl, both saying they consent. And then off to the side, we got this 30-year-old girl says, I don't. So naturally, everyone is spurting out about this and losing their minds about how this is grooming, how this is immature, how you're not a real man if you can't date somebody your own age, and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. So we're just going to break this down and talk about, first of all, fellas, why is it always better to date younger women, in your opinion?
Governor, you want to go first, or?
My experiences with both would have me say that the older ones always seem to have what they call experience, but ends up you'll be compared to every guy that they've ever been with, and usually that's a lot by that point. And there's nothing worse than being compared to somebody who the woman always complains about. And from my experience, anybody younger or anybody who's at least even mentally younger for that matter I've always had a much better time with them, because they're not all about that. They're all about more free spirited. They listen to you more, and you can actually take lead a little bit better than you can with somebody older.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. Nuke, anything to add?
Yeah, basically same thing as Governor was saying. Life, it hardens people, right? Over time, they go through experiences but men and women experiences changes for the better or for the worse. But for women, usually going through hard, tough times for women doesn't necessarily make them stronger. That's not to say that there's certain things that make that's good to go through. Not good, but will make you a stronger person. But a woman being single for 5 years and dealing, by being single and dealing with having to do moving by herself, long periods of loneliness, maybe financial trouble, all those things make women really kind of bitter, kind of harder people. So when they meet a man that also has gone through the same things, but that makes them more experienced, confident, and all that stuff, it's hard to it feels like you're competing almost, and it doesn't feel like there's this kind of mentorship, kind of you are in the lead. It's more like a bitter person and a man trying to have a relationship. It's not ideal. Plus, there's the whole I want to have kids. So the closer you are to 30, it's harder. I'm not saying it's impossible. I mean, it's probably not that much different, right? But some guys want more than one child, and then the final thing would be you don't want to be the guy she settled for. That is every man's biggest fear. You want to be the guy. You want her to choose you every day, not okay, well, it didn't work out with the last 5 guys. This guy's gonna have to work. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Many factors are at play here. Obviously, Nuke was mentioning the fact about wanting to have kids and a rich family, and obviously, as we all know, that father time comes, for women far sooner than men in this game of making babies, so to speak. So obviously,
Yeah.
if you want to have, I mean, we just saw it right there. Al Pacino, the guy's like almost 90 years old. He's popping out another kid. Like guys can literally
Yeah.
screw until they're dead. And
Yeah.
you can gripe about that all you want, but take it up with Darwin or take it up with Jesus. Don't take it up with me. It's,
Yeah.
it's
I just
how-
work here, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's just how it goes. So right there at the front for biological reasons, that's probably the number one reason coming into guys' minds, but also like we were talking about earlier, I mean, so much we talk about in this space, the concept of frame and everything like this, and it's just so much easier to have a nice frame with a woman who's significantly younger than you. And there's many factors and many reasons for this. Mostly that, kind of like what Nuke was saying there, by and large, hashtag not all, women are pretty much incapable of taking care of themselves and ruling themselves. And that's totally fine. Guys are more than happy to pick up that slack, on our terms, basically, and I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this before, but when you get on a date with, some girls are like in their late 20s / early 30s, it's almost like there's always something off about them, especially the ones in my experience being on like the right wing spheres and everything like this. You get with some of these like TradCon girls in their late 20s, they're just very awkward. They've had very little experiences with men. They tend to get really like, I call them like nervous Nellies almost. Like they're just very intimidated by like the prospect of being around other men. And it's just so much work for you to do to kind of, I don't know, deprogram essentially, and like start from scratch and build this thing up. It's so much easier to build a building from the foundations as opposed to trying to fix this, building when it's got some kind of structural error in it when it's already been built. So why are you signing yourself up for all this extra work if you have the option to go somewhere else?
Yeah. The thing is with a woman that's older, yeah, like I said before, there's just a lot of things that you have to take into account. Like, and I think for me, my biggest issue is like, I don't want to be the guy she settled for, and that's because all you're doing is pushing off a problem to the future, because right now she could be happy, like finally I stuck the landing, but in 5 years, will she still feel the same way? Is she still going to be able to pair bond with you and love you for longer than a year or 2 years? That's why you have to really think like, I'm not saying that all 30-year-old women, 29-year-old women are horrible people and they don't deserve love, right? But understand too that like there's a reason you're single at 29, and maybe it's not your fault, but maybe it is. So look into that,
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you were mentioning earlier, Nuke, about like one of the greatest fears for men is, like, and Rolo likes to call it sticking the landing, which I think is a pretty good, description of it. In all honesty, it's like, yeah, time is running out here, and you see this all the time. You do see it like chicks are looking for the relationship now, like they're getting into the late, what is it called, the epiphany phase, and they are looking to lock down that dude. And it's always something that's on the back of your mind. I mean, and I see it with other friends, man. We're all around that age, here, like us guys here are all like late 20s, early 30s. And I'm sure you guys have seen it like with your friends right now. They're dating women like around this age. And you really, really got to be careful because they love to put on this face. I've got one buddy right now who's extremely high earning guy in his late 20s and is now dating this like early 30s chick. And she is just doing everything for him, going over the moon for this guy, basically. And you have to ask yourself, it's like, well, is it because the guy is just really, on his game and he knows what the hell he's doing? Or is it because the chick is basically, realizing that this is like my last shot and I really, really gotta, turn up the femininity, the compliance, whatever. Well, it's not to like go into every situation being like so paranoid as to everything like, oh, I'm gonna get taken advantage of. It's like, no, just treat all guns as loaded. It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You never want to end up being the guy that, you will do. You never want to be the guy that will do. You want to be the one that's absolutely, genuinely desired.
Yeah. The biggest another issue with the whole age thing is, like you said, it's like um it's coming from a place of desperation, and it's almost predatory. I would say it's predatory on both the man and the woman's end, right? Because here's what's going on, right? On the woman's end, it's because she didn't couldn't lock a man down in her sexual prime, right? So now she's all the things that she should have done at 26 or 25 to get that man, she's doing now. So she knew all along what she needed to do to get the man she wanted. The problem that she chose not to.
Mm.
So she knew at 25 what it took to get that guy that she liked. But maybe the streets were calling. Maybe she was surrounded by other girls that were kind of promiscuous and told her not to do it. Or maybe she was a feminist, or maybe she got caught up in something. But if a woman innately starts doing things for a guy at 29, 30, like you said, that means at 25 she chose not to.
Mm.
So there's that. And number two, on the man side, you're dating a 29-year-old girl. You know that her time is running out. You haven't proposed to her. You haven't said, "Hey, let's get married. You're running out of time. I love you." A lot of guys were just like, whatever. So as a guy, I'm not trying to get moralistic here, but personally, this is just me. If let's say I find a girl that's 28, 29, she's perfect. Like she checks every single box. And I'm just like, well, I'm going to get married, but I'm going to have to get married like yesterday. I'm going to have to give up my lifestyle. I have to do everything right now and get this going, right? Because if I lead this girl on and then at 32, I decide I don't want her anymore, that puts her in a really bad position. And, as a guy that's very aware of women's mating schedules, I wouldn't feel good. But that's just me. I don't think that's just a moralistic approach.
I generally agree. I mean, leaving them better than you found them is just a good practice in general. Not only for like more realistic purposes, but also just it just covers your ass. Who the hell wants to have like a nasty breakup with something that was easily avoidable because you're just leading this chick on, and next thing you know, you got a scandal on your hands, or slash tires, or whatever the hell else.
Or you just got to see this girl be single and childless for the rest of her life, because maybe you were the alpha imprint and now she's unable to pair bond because you were so great, but you just left her. So there's that. So that's just something to think about for you guys. That you guys have revenge fantasies. Every guy has revenge fantasies until it's their turn to be the guy to execute that fantasy, and then you're gonna realize it doesn't feel good. I had a 27-year-old girl who I was very conflicted. I liked her a lot, but also I didn't want to give up my lifestyle. I just moved to the city. 6 months in, I wanted to keep being single and enjoying my freedom. So I had to let her go after 6 months of dating, and I still feel bad. And she was 27. She still has plenty of time, but it didn't make me feel good to like waste the girl's time. Now, if she was 22, 23, I wouldn't feel as bad because she has her whole life, her whole 20s in front of her. But yeah, it's just something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you really just do have to let them go, and it does suck.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody likes to, on Twitter, like boast about like being, your hardcore alpha bro or whatever, and like all the women belong to the streets or whatever. But I mean, you'd have to be a complete, fucking sociopath to feel like absolutely nothing. That doesn't mean light yourself on fire, to keep her warm, basically. But you absolutely should be. I mean, look out for numero uno yourself first, because nobody else is going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's talk about, some of the responses that you get from these things. And what I'm thinking about, going back to my tweet, the responses you get from other men, like the white knighting kind of stuff. It's like, you're not a real man if you can't date a woman your own age. So what do you guys think that's all about? We all know, but yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't even know where to begin with that. I remember encountering that a lot back in my I want to say within the past decade or so, particularly whenever I started getting more aware and more awakened to these kind of things, is that once you once you have that kind of mindset of, you know, what your preferences are in a woman, and oftentimes you're not what would be considered the norm. Like, you have to have somebody that's like, if I knew a guy that was 45 and he was interested in a girl that was like in her early 30s, and it's like everybody's like, oh, he's a you know what, and it's like, you know, it's
She's early 30s, bro.
I hate that I can't even say these words because, you know, YouTube and all, but y'all know where I'm getting at with that. It's like, there's not, like, even in that case, there's not even that big of a difference, guys. And like, for me at that time, I remember making posts about stuff like that. And even amongst more conservative women that were in their mid 20s, things like that, they would say, oh, I would never want a guy that's 10 years older than me or something. That's just creepy and gross. I would never want that. And then I would tell them, and they say, why would they want to be with us? And I would give her all the explanations why. And then she would behave just like in your meme, Red Hawk, you know, I don't consent. You know, they would try to grandstand and behave like they are the voice of moral authority. And of course, there would be guys that would say, oh, I would never do that. And I'm thinking, I would tell them, buddy, you have never been given the opportunity, probably. And so you don't know. And so, yeah, the white knights would always stick up for the girls like that would say that. And it does not help the overall grand scheme, if you will. Like you said, biologically, we want something, you know, that is younger or more youthful, things like that. And we're told that that's bad. We're not supposed to have that. But you don't really typically hear it from the other perspective, where the younger girl wants to be with the older guy. They don't tell her, you know, they might tell her something like, oh, she's misled, or they would treat her like a child, something like that. And I think that is honestly more degrading, if anything.
Oh yeah, it's like women are so strong, empowered, intelligent, amazing, are the greatest things ever in the entire world, but can't make their own decisions if they want to get around and sleep with an older man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just completely absurd. I don't know if you guys are. There's actually a fantastic, reference to make about this. If you guys are familiar, I reference this quite a bit. In Athens, in 5th century BC, there was this guy by the name of Aristophanes, and he was a playwright. And one of the plays that he wrote in antiquity Greece was called Assembly Women. And it's a comedy. And basically what he wrote in this play was the women of Athens get full control of all the politics in the entire city. Men are completely removed from all political authority. And the very, very first thing that the women do, the very first law they enact, is that all of the younger men have to have sex with all the older women. It's the very first thing they do. So this guy was on board to the idea, you know, thousands of years ago. So none of this is anything new. But we got a WWE style run-in from the Chad of Arabia himself, who just had to jump at the gun to talk about this topic. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey,
What's up, Chad? What's going on, man?
All is well, guys. So this is an interesting topic you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people seem to think so on Twitter. Red Hawk went viral.
Yeah. Crazy. Just a throwaway tweet got like 100,000 views. It's nuts. But this has got to be an interesting discussion, and you're part of the world there, my friend. What do you think, Chad?
Honestly, I do have a controversial opinion about this.
Mm-hmm.
So most dudes over here before, we opened up and everything, they used to marry younger chicks. So you can find some dude in his 30s, 35, 40, marrying a chick that's 10, 15 years younger than him. And that was the social norm, and it's acceptable, and nobody's judging anybody. Dude, even guys in their 60s are marrying 19-year-old. And that's acceptable. Lately, it's whenever a guy marries a younger chick, you know how women are. They always shame him. You can see that, but if you can translate it to English, you're going to see the same narrative. Yeah. But honestly, in all honesty, like the age gap, what I think from my own experience, if the two of them have met younger, I don't think it's going to matter that much. Because, the wife goggles, girlfriend goggles or whatever.
Yeah.
But as the guy gets older, like I think 10 years is the sweet point,
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's actually my point right now, is whole wife girlfriend goggles thing, because my girl's close to my age, but she's very youthful, very fun, and I knew her back in high school, so we've always known each other to a degree, and it's made it so much better. But you don't find that very often, I will say that, and y'all know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely could see that quite a bit. You know, I mean, it just goes back to, you know, like we were saying, is yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say like you know, I'm trying to piece this together properly. All right, so we're talking about how like the younger chick, easier to mold, easier to get in your frame, just easier to deal with all around. Well, it's the same thing like you were saying there, Mish. Like if you meet her young, you know, you're that imprint guy. It's not like the end of the world kind of deal. What was that old adage that the guys would always say? It's like half her age, like +7 or
Plus
something.
7,
Yeah. I mean, that's generally a pretty good rule of thumb, right? I don't know. You guys could did the math in your head at home, but but yeah, I mean, like let's be honest here, guys. I mean, like guys like being in leadership positions and like being in that mentorship role. And you know, we all like to feel good when like your girl like looks up at you with like her, you know, like little cat eyes and is fascinated by you, like saying something or doing something or whatever. Even it's like the most basic stuff. One of the things I do a lot when I'm on first dates, because my popular thing for the first date is to walk. I really like to walk. There's a couple nice parks nearby me, and one of the goofy things that I do. If you guys are familiar with this, you can use any analog watch as a compass. If you do it properly, take the minute hand, point it directly at the sun, and if you're in the northern hemisphere, halfway between 6 o'clock and noon is due south. So you can use that as like a basic compass kind of deal. It's like a little stupid thing that I like to do and stuff, but it's just like, oh my god, that's so cool. You know, just little things like that. You know, guys like being in the mentorship role. Like, yes, I can feel safe with this dude. He could protect me. He could do things. He knows more than me. Well, he's got more experiences. Who doesn't want to be in that position?
Yeah, and the thing is, honestly, like I've noticed, most of you guys who, you know, over 30 notice this as well. Men don't mature, you know, as quickly as women, which is a rule of thumb, basically.
Yeah,
like
true.
you know, like so that's where the age difference comes in. Like if you find a guy in you know he's 35, 33, you know, 38, dating somebody who's 10 years younger than him, that's not bad actually. You know, he's mature enough to lead that relationship.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, the biggest age gap I dated was 13 years. And I met her family. They didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, they
Nothing.
wouldn't. No, dude.
As a matter of fact, she would pay stuff for me. She'd want to go 50-50 on everything. She was 19 at the time, and I was 31. And she would pay for everything, or not everything, but like sometimes I'd be like, no, I got it, and I'll put my credit card out, and she would grab my credit card, yank it playfully, and then put her card on the table. Right. So like for guys like us that touch grass, in real life, it's not always. It could be seen depending on your perspective, one way being predatory towards the other, because they think, oh, you know, he's financially dominating her because he has money. And he's older, he's like tricking her or something. And then from the 19-year-old girl perspective, you could say, oh, well, he's just using him because he has money. But deep down, they may actually like each other, and it may work, you know. So everyone has a say on that relationship from the outside. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I've had that before as well. Like I've used to date somebody back in 2020. She was 20 years old, and I was, I don't know, 35 back then, 36. So same thing, man. Same thing.
Yeah.
You couldn't feel the age difference at all, honestly. Like nobody gave a shit.
Well, the chick is going to pick up your hobbies and your interests anyway, you know, if you're doing it right, you know. So like when people always say it's like, well, what could you possibly have to talk about or something with a young girl like that? It's like, well, she's going to talk about what I'm talking about and get into the shit that I'm into. So
she'll mold herself right in. I've had that happen before. I've dated girls 19, 20, you know, in my late 20s, early 30s, and had no problem conversing with them. Everything I'd talk about, they'd be fascinated by it because it's the benefits of becoming a human encyclopedia. You got information, you know something, they will be interested if they see you have a passion and knowledge about it, and they will often get attracted to it.
Yeah. Chicks
Yeah,
love
go ahead.
stories,
This
man.
is what between men, when you have some weak men, they gravitate towards the, quote unquote, I hate using this, like the alpha male or like the leader of the group.
Yeah.
You start seeing them copy his, slang words, the way he dresses, the way he talks, they just laugh at everything he does. They pick up his hobby. That happens with men as well. Like I've seen that happen.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Like a personal story of mine. Like I used to have a friend. He's straight. He's not gay, first of all, so nobody confuses that shit.
But $20 is $20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but like honestly,
Haram.
because some people kept saying like, "Is he gay?" Like the way he's copying you and everything. Literally, like he copied my haircut. Whenever I went to buy sunglasses, or shades, he just, like a week later, I find him buying another one. Even the clothes I go buy, like, a month later, I find him like buying the same clothes. Like he wasn't a bad guy, but like,
Just no personality at all.
You're just a good influence. Look at you.
Guy's a follower. Everyone knows those dudes. They're like that. Good friend of the channel, Bull Rush. Good to have you here, man. Brings up a good point in the chat here. All you gotta do is look where the criticism is coming from. Old box wing. God, can't even talk today. Old box wine drinking broads. Pay them no mind. He's 100% correct. On that one for sure. It's like you can feel pity for him, but it's not our responsibility to save the women. Not in 2023.
On the flip side, guys, like if you do date much younger, like right now I'm dating, I think 8 years younger. She's 25 and I'm about 8 years younger. I would say like don't throw it around, like don't keep it your private life private, don't make it your brand, or don't tell everyone that you're like let people find out on themselves, and if they ask you answer, but don't just don't throw it in everyone's face. It's your relationship, no one cares. The only people that care are people that ask you in bad faith and want you to see you fail. So it's better to just keep it private. People will find out. You know what they'll find out afterwards? Be like, wow, you guys work great despite the age. So.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they won't even notice until if they were to ask, oh, how old is she or something. But if they see a good dynamic between you two, they won't even question it in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna ask, man.
No, they don't care.
Yeah, it's like so much what we say all the time in this cool side of the space is like if you're going out and about just boasting about like your accomplishments and your conquests and everything all the damn time, it just comes off as fake, number one, and number two, you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah, say that for your boys. Brag in the group chat with your boys.
Keep it private. That's what I say. That's how we know that these guys are full of shit and they're not there yet. Whenever you see a guy just posting receipts, pictures of women, private chats or whatever. Okay, sometimes I do it, but like there's a context why I do it, and I make sure that I hide the name, hide the number, hide everything, like But some of these guys, they're just full of shit and they're seeking validation.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely true.
They need approval for their choices. Like, listen, man, I'm dating this girl, whether you like it or not. I don't care. Not my problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, let's go through another side of this here. Would be something like, we kind of touched on it a little bit, something to the degree of like social shame. Have you guys ever received social shame from, I don't know, like a personal family member or a friend, or maybe even out in public or something like this? And how do you go about dealing with something like that?
Oh, yeah. I've had that happen before from family member, like my sister. She didn't shame me, but she made fun because of my type. I like short chicks. Yeah. So whenever she sees me with a short chick, she's like, "Again, you're not gonna change your type."
Yeah, that's funny.
But I just laugh it off. I'm like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah. No.
Exactly. Yeah. Just own who you are, guys.
Yeah.
You don't owe anybody an explanation for any of the decisions that you make in your own life.
Nope.
Are they paying you and are they sucking your dick?
Nope.
If they're not doing either of those things, then they have zero input as to what's going on in your life. That's just a simple fact of the matter.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, you guys gotta make yourself your own mental point of origin, and and then online, you guys, people have to understand that there's a hater for everything you do. If you like the color blue, then there's gonna be people who hate you for. If people who hate the color blue will quote tweet you and tell you you're insecure. Like there's a hater for everything. Like and apparently there's a lot of haters for people being in happy relationships, right? So online, because in real life, I was walking around with a 19-year-old girl, going to the movies, going to her parents' house. I met her friends, and her friends liked me. Like in real life, in the real world, people like to see a masculine, attractive man lead a girl and make her happy in public. Like people like seeing that. People like seeing a guy being a gentleman, holding the doors open. And a lot of times girls realize that guys that are 22, 23, that are their age, they have no game. They don't know how to talk to women. They double down on their hobbies. Like I like video games, right? But when my girl walks through the door, and I haven't seen her for a while, video games are off, and I'm dedicating my time to her.
Yeah.
If she wants to join, and then there's some girls that are like, "Can we play Mario Kart?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah. Like that's. I need to get that.
Yeah.
But,
and then there's some girls that are like, "Yeah, can I watch you? I love watching you play." And you're like, "Okay, well, sit on my."
They love
you.
That's
you
another.
Sit on the couch, and then you put her legs on your shoulders, and then you're just chilling. She's playing with your hair. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Yes, agree.
My personal favorite is when they just lay in your lap. There you go. That's much easier.
That's one of my favorite things right now with mine. She's a bookworm. She loves reading, and she'll just sit there on the couch reading while I'm playing Pokemon, just looking at the TV or whatever. She'll see I caught something. She's like, "What is that one?" Just like she'll get involved, and it's so much fun. Like that's some of the most fun that I have in the first place. We go out in public sometimes, but I mean, I feel like another thing that you could touch on is that you're there for your girl, open the door for her, open the car door for her, stuff like that. People around you'll notice, and they'll be like, "That's a quality guy right there." I mean, I've heard people say that about us before, about how good of a couple we are because of how I treat her and how she, the chemistry we have and how she bounces off of everything I say and do. And not even just from a relationship perspective, but as a man in general, it makes you look so much better, if anything. And I know, people that I know I've heard it before. People say, "Oh, you're a simp because you worship the ground your girl loves."
Oh no, dude! Guys are gonna
so stupid.
It's so annoying because it's like, "Oh, I'll compliment a girl," and then they'll be like, "Simp," and I go, "You wouldn't say you wouldn't wouldn't want to get with that either. You're just saying that because you want to be different,
dude." And I said I washed my girl's panties once.
Yeah, I remember.
And like people are like, "What a loser!" And I'm like, "Dude, like." What are you gonna do when your girlfriend gets sick? Make her get up from the bed and like make her cook for herself and like, dude, you're allowed to do nice things for people.
That's your brain on Manosphere TM.
Yeah, oh my God.
Dude, I think about that every time, or I think about your post that you were saying, like I wash my girl's stuff too. And that's why I wanted to butt in and go, "Hey, me too." But, she's happy with me, right? That's all that should matter. I don't care what some dude says about like, "Oh, you shouldn't be a servant to your girl." It's like, it's a nice, not, I don't like to say 50-50. It's 100-100, relationship. We both give our all and it works phenomenally.
Yeah.
So I don't, with these guys that, I feel like they see something, they go, "I see that he's happy, but I'm not happy because I want that,
Or I want him to be happy the way I'm happy.
Yeah. That's it.
That's so lame. Yeah.
Man.
Honestly, like one of the best things you can do for your girl is just to make every other chick in the vicinity jealous.
Oh yeah.
By doing nice things to her.
Yep.
Like feed her, spoil her, do everything that will drive other chicks insane.
PDA is very
I am a huge proponent of PDA.
Yeah,
like, man, you should make everybody else uncomfortable. Like,
I'm very observant about my surroundings and people around me and everything. That situational awareness thing, and I'll notice that I'll sometimes see like a guy who's just kind of like a chumpy kind of guy, and the girl will look like she's kind of bored with him, and they see us and she sees us, and I can tell. you know, she sees me and my girl, and she's like, kind of got this "I wish that was me" kind of look on her face.
Oh,
You know, or I've even heard it before. Hey, that guy does that for him or for his girl. I'm like, yeah, not that
That's
hard.
hilarious. You're at like a fair or something like that, and you get your girl like a stuffed animal or something, and every single time you'll hear like some girl in the background with her dudes like, "Oh, look at that guy, he's doing something." You
Just did that.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, my gosh.
I hate that discussion so much though about like, being nice to your girl is some form of simping. I hate that bullshit so much.
Me
No.
too.
It's like the main distinguisher here is like the simp doesn't come from a position of strength. And like if you're in a position of strength, like you're the leader of your relationship and you choose to open the door for your girl, you choose to spoil her, you choose to take her out to a nice dinner, you choose to do her laundry or whatever it is. It's like you aren't doing this like a guy begging on his hands and knees, like please, 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 I'll give you this if you just give me a little bit of pussy. It's like no, I'm in charge of this. I'm in charge of this relationship here. And you keep doing this that I expect, and I'll reward you accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just a crumb, please. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, yeah, please, sir, give me some more. Yeah,
Meal crumb. Yeah.
Well, I think guys just don't have experience with women, and they're very afraid of being vulnerable. And I don't mean vulnerable emotionally, like just like with your time and your money, and like if a girl's doing the right things. Also, it's like there's things that are it's not that serious, right? If you want to do your girl's laundry, it's not hard. You drag the bin to the washing machine. You may have to separate a couple clothes here and there. You put it in the washer, you walk away. It's not like you're
it's a Herculean task.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes.
It's not like you're taking it to the bathtub and then like washing it in the water and then doing it all by hand.
You're not losing your purpose as a man for washing your girl's clothes. And also like running her a hot bath. You turn on the bath, you throw in the bath salts, you set a timer so it doesn't overflow, you go do what you want, you come back, hey, I ran a hot bath for you because you look stressed. And then guess what, you get all these points, and then while she's in the bath you get to play video games or do whatever you want. it's like so
it's so
easy to do these things, and your girl will appreciate. Or you write a note in her purse, so when she opens her purse, hey, I just want to know, I thank you for all that you do for me. I love you.
I did when I wrote a note in her sock once and went to go put on her socks, and she's like, "What the hell is in here?"
I like what Bull Rush said there too. Those people don't know the difference between nice and kind. That is exactly right, because there's nice guys and then there's good guys or good men, however you want to put it. The nice guys do it for self-indulgence or for themselves and to brag on themselves, hoping they'll get some in exchange from their woman or whatever woman they're pursuing. And then you have the good guys who they'll do it out of the kindness of their heart and because they love the woman they're with, and they know they'll get equivalent affection back from her. And they're not just going to, they don't let her walk all over him or anything, but they do it because they want to.
Yeah. So much of this, what we're talking about, is just a direct consequence of what we like to call Manosphere TM. And guys are just overdosing on all like the rage bait, like anger phase content that is basically indoctrinating you into thinking that every single woman out there is out to get you. And they are, somehow delicate little flowers that will run away at the first sign of you pissing them off. And also at the same time, they're Machiavellian geniuses who are just looking to backstab you and steal everything from you at the same time. It's like, come on, guys, this is ridiculous. You have so much more leeway with this stuff than you think you do, especially considering what your competition is like. It's like,
dude, the competition is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I was shocked at how easy it was, the competition. I used to be a guy that hated competition, but I invite it now. I'm just like, you know what? It's the bar is really set that low these days.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, it's just so bizarre. Like you see these guys on Twitter like all the damn time. It's like that fucking Sneeko guy. I saw him on Twitter earlier this week. He was bitching about how eating your chick's pussy is never masculine in any way, shape, or form ever. It's like he's like, me leaning down is a submissive position. I'm on my knees. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
He was
And you know, the
pulling it- I
funniest
think it
thing
was-
is like he mentioned that shit is haram,
yeah,
and it's not mentioned anywhere. Anywhere it's haram. Like the only mention of that, you know, like it's not favorable. It was taken out of context. Basically, they were saying just make sure both of you are clean before you do that stuff.
right.
Yeah,
Makes
no shit.
Which
Which
yeah,
is
you're
like,
supposed to
you
do
know,
anyway.
Yeah.
The
no
logical
fucking
thing to
shit.
do.
Yeah, and I swear he took that out of what was it, DJ Khaled's book? Because I swear he got in trouble for saying that same exact thing about a year or two ago. And I don't care about him much, but I remember that blowing up all over Twitter at some point not very long ago. And I think I'm like, okay, Sneeko, you're using the exact same words as him, so I can't help but think he probably copy pasted that.
Oh, so like everything that fucker says? Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, if it's not something you got from Tate, something, look for it elsewhere. You might find it.
Guys, I think guys just want to think and be logical, for themselves, right? Like if it's a girl you just met off the street, you might want to consider not, because you just met her, you don't know what's going on down there. But if it's the girl you love, dude, it's the girl you love. You don't need a man on the internet to tell you how to touch your girl's vagina. What part of your body goes. Like you don't need that. I know there's if there's a religion component, then yes, it's your faith, right? But outside of that, like if there's any goal I have, is I want guys to start thinking for themselves and like take accountability for their own choices, and like stop waiting for daddy red pill, daddy manosphere to tell them what to do next.
Yep.
Yes, we can talk about it, but dude, at the end of the day, you got to pull the trigger. And if you like going down on a woman, all I got to say is like, man, make sure she's clean, or make sure you like her, like that you kind of trust her, because think it's crazy out here.
Yep.
And if you love her, we should be past. If you're in a relationship with her, then it's not you and her and Twitter, it's you and her. So make the decision, do what you want, and stop worrying about what some 24-year-old who just converted to Islam for clout told you how to touch your woman's vagina. Like, come on, man, please stop doing that.
Yep.
Just talk to her about it. You put in enough communication, you'll find out what she likes, and who cares what anybody else thinks.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Man.
so frustrated. to
Yeah,
talk about this.
I know. It's just like, the bar is just set so low, and everyone is just piling on top of each other to jump headfirst under that bar as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable, really.
it's wild, man.
But like they say, let them burn.
Yeah, let them burn, dude. Honestly, like even in real life, dude, like Gov said, the bar is set so low. It's surprising, man. Like I work in an environment where it's dominated by 90% of women. The CEO I work under, she's a woman. Like literally, I'm surrounded by women. The whole floor I'm in is just women. I'm the only dude there, and we got like maybe 3 other dudes with me, and I'm the only guy that chicks buy me food, bring me sweets, come and say hello to me every morning, come and chat with me. The other dudes, nobody wants to talk to them because they're charming, they're very awkward.
And you just treat them like, and you just treat women as they should be treated, like human beings.
Exactly.
Like humans,
Yeah.
That's how I when I talked to Angela Knight, that's how I came with,
Yeah.
just
I gotta watch
Hey.
that.
Yeah, it was amazing. I'm so
It's
proud of
good.
you, dude. Like,
yeah,
honestly.
thanks. Well, the
Yeah.
thing is, like, I don't think guys understand. Have you ever been like, not even in a relationship? Have you ever dealt with a sister or a mother or a woman that was hysterical or mad or frustrated, or how do you talk to a woman like that? You don't talk to her like a guy. Like a guy, you could slap him in the face and like, get a hold of yourself, dude.
Yeah.
But if it's a girl or woman, you come very kind and understanding, and you let her talk, let her say her piece. And by the end of the video, she was like giggling and relaxed, and she still told Rolo to fuck off. I get it, but at the end of the day, she's like, "Thank you, you're very articulate. I understand a little bit better now. I'm still gonna do what I do." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm not trying to win anyone over. I just wanted to understand each other. And
Sometimes that composure is all you need. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then now she follows me on YouTube. She follows me on Instagram. She follows me on Twitter. So, I'm not saying that we need to agree on anything and I'm going to change her mind, right? But honestly, like that video was more a test of me and how do I interview people, and also for my followers so they can see that like this whole getting online and hating women, even if they deserve it, it's not going to ever make you a better man.
No,
Like
that's true.
you're paying $100 to a guy on a podcast to tell women to shut up. $100.
Oh,
That's like
man.
3 hours of work. Such hard-earned money that you work for. You use it to pay a podcast to tell a girl that she's a host, she should shut up. What is wrong with you, dude? You need to go to therapy at that point. You
He
need
needs
to go
to and touch
therapy.
grass, dude. First
Yeah.
of all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah,
No.
you're making a guy rich, and that girl's not gonna shut up. Like, what is wrong with you, dude?
Also, she's gonna forget about you 5 seconds after you say that, and she's gonna go
Yeah.
on with her damn day.
Yeah.
It's
Congratulations,
so absurd.
man.
Yeah.
Could have spent that money and took your mother out to dinner or something.
Yeah. It's just so ridiculous, man. Like, dudes just have zero respect for their time and their hard-earned money. And it just goes into what we were talking about earlier about, I see this all the time in tradcon circles and things like that, where guys are just like frothing at the mouth to get into a long-term relationship with the very first chick that looks their way. It's like, dude, like, have some respect for yourself, man. Have some respect for your time. Like, actually vet this girl and see if she's worth like your time and your effort. But most guys are in scarcity mindset, man. They just have to hyper fixate on that one chick and hope it works out for them instead of taking the bull by the horns.
It's like they got the sense of urgency of the mid-30s chick.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nuke.
And like I told Angela, and like I tell everyone, like, you realize red pill it's inner work, man. It's like we're not gonna change women. We're still gonna be them. So there's a void you have to face, and the void is yourself, like changing yourself, and that's the part no one wants to do. Everyone wants to go on a podcast and complain about women, and I get it. It's not ideal, but look at yourself, work on yourself, and not only like the gym and money. Like the part that no one leaves out is the inner work, like your hang-ups, your covert contracts, your the things that still you hang on to, that stuff. That's what's gonna make you really better with women, like long term, because you can sleep with multiple women, right? But that's gonna take a toll for you. If you don't have boundaries over time, you're gonna go crazy. Even if no matter how cool of a playboy you are, you don't have boundaries. And then when you have a girlfriend, if you don't know how to lead, and if you don't know how to deal with a woman, like I was talking to Angela, that's how you talk to a person that's distraught and disappointed and is trying to make sense of something. That could be your girlfriend one day. And are you gonna be like, you're just like all the other hoes, like that's not how you talk to your wife,
No, dude, no way. That's not how you talk to other people. That's basically rule zero.
Yeah, like, rule zero.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah. And I mentioned that in the video.
Yep. Yeah, I could go tune into that. I'll probably tune into it tonight after the show, Nuke.
Well worth it.
I'll DM you afterwards, tell you what I think about it. But yeah, it's just sorry state of things. But piggybacking just off of what you guys were talking about, it's like, yes, all four of us on this panel right here, none of us are fans of feminism, like by any stretch of the imagination. But also, you're not going to see the four of us bitching about it every single fucking day, nonstop. It's like, yeah, we've internalized it. We understand it's not going away anytime soon until like the meteor comes. So what are we going to do about it? Like you could sit back, relax, and binge on White Claw Power Hour and send $200 super chats to rate the girls on the panel. That chick's a 3, that chick's a 4, and they're going to forget about you in 5 seconds. Or you can actually understand. Oh yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
You just have to accept that. I mean, you can disagree with it and wish that it would go away, but it's not going away anytime soon. So you got to learn to adapt properly.
Yeah, exactly. We're men. We live in the world of the real. Like wishing isn't going to make anything better here. So
honestly, I should start some service like what I charge people, like $800 an hour, just to tell them how retarded they are. Just before they even open their mouth and tweet and go on podcasts with people, you know, I can do that. I can like, yeah, don't
Yeah,
go into a
HR,
podcast
yeah.
with this. Don't
It's like
go into
a-
a podcast with this person. He's gonna fuck up your career. You're gonna look like an idiot. You're not ready for it.
It's like
Mhm.
pay piggies, but for a guy telling a girl or a guy telling another guy that he's an idiot and he's stupid for sending all that money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Pay pig.
yeah,
Yeah,
but at the same time, man, it's like, hey, if guys want to go spend their money like that, more women for me.
Yep.
Yeah. And you gotta understand too, like when you're being attacked as a man, let's say you go on a podcast and it's an ambush, right? You got three
I love
girls.
that. No.
Yeah, you got three girls and they're like, they're attacking you or they don't agree with something with you. Just be quiet. Just be like, okay. I can see why you feel like that.
I can see why you feel that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see like that does not mean like grovel, but you just I can see how you feel that way.
Honestly,
It's
saying
like-
just that phrase alone, it can get you really far too. I mean, it doesn't mean you agree with them. Just
Yeah,
you
I
feel that
understand
way
you.
at a certain time.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then like sometimes not even saying anything, just nodding and being like, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why we say STFU is a superpower.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm,
Shutting the fuck up is a superpower.
Yes,
It's
yes, it
hard.
is.
It's hard. It's hard as fuck, but man, when
It
you
is hard
master it,
to control your emotions,
Mhm.
not to react to things when people are trying to trigger you.
mhm.
I mean, like I do set an example on Twitter when I troll people. Like literally, it takes me like 3 tweets just to expose people.
It's hilarious to watch you work, man.
And
You
imagine
do that.
that's on your
every damn
phone.
time.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's on your phone. You can shut your phone anytime. You can block me. You can mute me. You can do like you have so many tools just to tune me out of your life.
Yep.
Like, imagine what these guys would do in a real life situation where they're like they're working with other work colleagues. They have their boss wailing down on them. Like, what are you gonna do in real life? Like that shows you that these people they've never been tested in real life. They've never worked a real job in their life. Like,
Yeah.
Nuke, you were in the military, right?
yes.
Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. The cooler and more relaxed you were, the more they liked you. So they're gonna
Yeah.
mess with you. They're gonna, make fun of your face. They're going to call you useless. They're gonna ask you, "Hey, are you qualified this? So I don't have to do it anymore." But then once you get to the point where you're like qualified and you rank up, and they love you. They like absolutely. You become like their best friend. The leadership, everyone loves you. Even the girls. The girls were like, "Oh my god, this guy's so chill. He doesn't never loses his top." So
No,
that's the
now
important
imagine
thing.
if you lost your shit. All right. And
Oh, yeah,
were
you'd be
just
hated your whole
reacting
career. You'd be-
emotionally, and you got
Yeah.
hung up in so many things when you're I don't know, the other soldiers. I'm ignorant in this shit. So like
Yeah,
imagine
yeah. No,
other
no, it's fine.
just yeah.
Mm,
Imagine if you
Yeah,
you got emotional about this. What would happen?
Yeah, well, no one would want to hang out with you. Everyone would be like nice to you, but no one would like be real with you. They would keep you at a
Would
distance.
would you say would you ever get promoted if you were that way?
You would, but no one would like support it. Everyone would be like, "How did this guy get promoted?" Like, no one would respect you, even if you did or didn't. No one would. They'd be like, "Yeah, he got lucky. He didn't deserve it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, again, just so much of what we're talking about is just how to be a social human being.
Yeah.
And it's just becoming rarer and rarer and rarer these days because everyone is just growing up online. It's so funny, Mish. I see you all the time on Twitter getting up in these guys' faces, and they respond. Number one, they respond the same way like every single time. But what gets me, man, is like their egos can't tackle it, especially in front of their like 3 followers. Because they're always like egg accounts or something like this. It's like, dude, who the hell is gonna know? Okay, so like your 3 followers look at this, but like, are these 3 followers people you're ever gonna meet in real life? No, they're probably fucking bots or sock accounts too. It's like, the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm waiting for the day that somebody actually triggers me. And you guys seen some of the racist shit that's been said to me, and
Yeah.
some of the
Yeah.
crazy stuff that's good. Even one guy, he doxed me. He posted my pictures.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I didn't lose my composure. Like I didn't lose my shit. I'm like, I owned that shit. I quote tweeted them and made fun of it. Like imagine if it was another guy. What would you do?
Yeah. He would probably call the police and punch a hole through his wall or something.
I'm not saying I'm the best out there, but like I don't know, like dude, just it's the internet. Who gives a shit, dude? Honestly, if
Yeah.
you're in real life, you would get stomped.
Yeah. This is the example I use all the time, man. Everyone's in a group chat with their friends, everybody. And anytime someone brings in an external link, it could be to a meme, it could be to a 2-second TikTok video, it could be literally to anything. And the amount of times people will actually click that damn link and go that extra step of moving their fucking thumb to the other side is what, like, not even 50% of the time. Extrapolate that out into the real world where people don't even know who the fuck you are. Yeah, nobody cares, man.
Yeah. Everyone's trying to get their way of thinking to be the right way, like in terms of everything, preferences, how to make money, how to be the human being, who's smart. Like the race thing is a good example of that. Like, listen, man. For example, like in preferences, like women, they say that like certain women aren't attractive because they're from a certain country. Like let's say, I don't know, like Indian women aren't attractive. Whatever. I went to salsa night last night and I saw an Indian girl, 26 years old. She looked at me. I went up and approached her, asked her to dance, and she was one of the cutest women I've ever seen. You know, and I'm touching grass and I'm looking. I'm like, how can you go on the internet and just blanket statements say that a certain woman isn't attractive or a certain person is this because they do this, and just these blanket statements, but like you don't like. It's an indication that you just spend Monday through Friday on like online or at work or online and don't step out of your house ever. Like, where are you that you think these things? What do you do for a living? It's very strange.
No, absolutely. You know, one of the last things I want to bring up here, and we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier about, you know, like other guys will like shame dudes saying like, oh, you're not a real man. Like a real man does this, like dates his own age cohort. And again, and I'm loving how this term is catching on way more and people are using it way more, but it's just another example of the longhouse, man. You know, it's just more guys gatekeeping decisions from other dudes for the slightest hope of approval from the women. It's just like, what the hell is wrong with you, man? Like, okay, listen here. Like Al Pacino, like 91 years old with this 29-year-old chick. You know what? Probably not for me, man. You know, it's a little out there, I think. You know, if I was Al's age, I'd probably just want to retire with like quiet contemplation. But at the same time, I'm not going to go virtue signaling online, you know, especially in this gynocentric world we're living in, just like shitting on like some other dude for making his own choices and his own decision. Like,
I was going to say, you're not going to say, oh, it needs to be illegal.
Oh my God. Yeah, just stop. Just not. Other people are allowed to have different lifestyles than you, and are allowed to be, you know, successful with women in their own ways. You know, and that's fine. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be for me. Just like, you know, all the TradCon people, it's like that's fine. You can go and do that. Just don't like force it on me, man, because that's not for me. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Like what you do with your dick is your own business. Like I don't give a shit, but don't.
Yeah,
please don't be retarded about it.
I swear to God, man, trads worry about people's dicks more than gays do. It's crazy. It's unbelievable.
Oh, dude, it's not even trads, dude. Like even Muslims, man. Like honestly, some of the it is so similar. Well, Hog, you're gonna be so surprised. It's so similar. Like even the Muslim scholars and even the trad Muslims we have, they're the same as the Christian ones we have here.
Nah,
it's just insane.
I don't know. I've globetrotted a little bit this year. One of these days, I'll have to come to your neck of the woods, man. We'll go see it. We'll go see all the sand. You know?
Yeah, but
it's coarse and irritating.
You gotta pick a nice weather. Don't think about coming anytime from I don't know, like June until October.
Yeah,
it's super hot over here.
Yeah,
because it's gonna melt.
Just make it easy. Everybody come to Texas.
Yeah, come to Texas, guys.
Yeah,
we got you.
I'm telling you, man. If we can get, I won't announce, but well, fuck it, I'll put it in the private chat. But if we can get you know who to come on over here next year, we'll have a fucking blast. I'll drive down to Texas. I'll visit you guys, no problem.
Yeah, I think there's direct flights from where you're from to Texas, like every day, like 3 times a day. You know,
and
DFW,
Dallas
at least.
You're from Dallas, I know, and I'm from Houston, and those are just a few hours apart. So you could go to both places within, you know, a week's time and get your experience out from everything from both
Oh
places.
yeah, yeah.
I go to Dallas regularly, and it's
No,
fun up there.
for sure. I haven't been to Texas in a very long time, maybe like 10 years at this point. But I got to get back down
Yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
But
They
yeah,
give you a
I'll,
gun when you cross the border. They give you a gun.
dude.
Yeah.
That's
Hand you a gun.
dude. I tell you, man. Like when I got off the plane
Yeah.
and I got picked up by a guide in at San Antonio Airport, and literally right there at the baggage claim, the guy pulls out a bolt action rifle from the backseat of his truck and then puts it in the bed. No case, no nothing. Like what? Nobody cares over here. Amazing. I love it
Yeah.
already.
Dude, there's a reason my dad loved Texas.
Oh, I'm sure, man.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
everyone's very polite. I went to Chicago last week, and people there are not polite, but they're kind. It's hard to explain. Like,
Yeah.
I
was
like
looking at
Chicago.
I was looking at the menu for a pizza, and I was like, man, there's so many choices. And the cashier was like, come on, hurry up, in the accent, hurry up, come on. I'm like, oh, damn, I'm sorry. And then I ordered a pizza, and then I was eating the pizza, and the guy comes up to me, he's like, hey man, do you need a box for that? Like, he sat down next to me, he's like, hey, how are you? Do you need a box for that? I'm like, yeah, I don't think I can finish this other slice. He's like, okay. And he asked me, oh, so where are you guys coming from? I'm like, that's so weird. Like a minute ago, you were like, hurry up, dude, you're holding up the line. But now you're like worried about my life story. It was very strange for me because in Texas it's a little different. But
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't imagine if you spurred out on that guy and said, dude, like you're insulting me, man.
Yeah.
Like by telling me to rush up, man.
yeah,
And don't you know I'm an alpha, bro?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
Do you not know who I am? I have 7,000 Twitter followers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, crazy.
Gosh.
I
I
feel
do
like there's a lot-
podcasts online in Yellow Weapon.
yeah. I feel like there's a problem with guys that make alpha male podcasts and stuff where they think that who they have sex with or who they're with is part of their brand.
Mm,
Oh, dude, that
Yeah.
reminds me.
Yep.
You guys
I can
remember
think-
that guy, Purple Pill, whatever?
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
That guy gets mentioned so much. I've never seen his stuff, but
No,
I mean,
nobody
I-
has.
I-
Nobody
in the
has. He's got
group
like
chat.
he's got like 15 Twitter followers and 20,000 YouTube subscribers, 19,999 of which are fake and bought. So
yeah, everyone's buying followers now too. What
Like,
the-
how do you do? I haven't even.
I couldn't deal with him. Like, all right, so like it reached a point where it's sad just dunking on the guy. He doesn't see it. He's like, hey, come over, I'll fly over to Dallas and I'll show off my girlfriend to you. I'm like, do you want to sit in the Lincoln chair? Like, is that what you're telling me? Like, all right,
Wait,
I'll
hold
do it
on.
for
Let
you.
me look this guy up.
amazing.
Purple
He's
Pill
like, hold on, let me
podcast?
check this.
Yeah, it's what is it like purple pill
Like, the
debate or
dude
some
literally
shit?
said, I'll fly you over to Dallas to come and debate me. I don't know what's wrong with people in debating. Like,
Wait, he's
First
in
of all-
Dallas. Are you serious? He's in
Oh
my
my God.
city.
Why are they all from
He
Dallas?
looks like
or
a dork.
Houston?
he is
Dude, yes.
like he's a special needs guy. Like, honestly, I'm like, first of all, you cannot afford flying me over. Honestly, like, I did the calculation. Okay, it would cost him $45,000 dollars just to fly me over to debate him. If I'm gonna go by my company
Yeah.
rates.
Yeah.
All right. I factored in the flight costs, like my hourly rate,
Yeah.
the accommodation,
Yeah, listen,
everything.
man, I love you, but there ain't no fucking way I'm paying you that much. So
Yeah.
come on over.
You
I'm
can't
like-
afford
I'm
me
like,
with
dude,
White Claws.
He cannot, honestly, I'm not lying. He cannot afford me. Like, would you pay $45K to get me over? No.
I love it too, because like I mean, obviously like, we know about your escapades and group chats and stuff like that, but like
Oh, yeah.
online, like yeah, you're not boasting, about all your shit. Like this guy doesn't even know where you're from,
Oh,
you know?
okay. Sorry.
Oh,
I
Nuke
found
just
who it
figured out who
was.
he is. He's like, oh,
Sorry.
I love that.
guy, you were shitting on him, Chad, right? Sergio
Yeah.
Solis.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
that's
him,
his,
the
Twitter.
guy.
Yeah,
That guy
he's got,
has
like,
30,000 followers, and he's
On
losing his
YouTube.
mind over one guy on Twitter.
Dude,
Well, how do these guys
supposedly,
get girls? Is it only because they're famous?
Probably.
it's not even that. Like, if you just spend 5 minutes watching his podcast, like the quality of people he brings over, they're just basically from the poor neighborhoods or like the hood or whatever. Like, they're just ratchet people. And like, dude,
Dude, I get more viewers on my episodes of my show than him, and my subscriber
Yeah.
count is like 10 times less than his. It's like, yeah, fuck that. Well,
It was like Rolo had said, it doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. What matters is your not interactions, your
Quality of people.
engagement. Like how many people are
Yeah.
actually commenting and actually viewing and getting involved in it. Because like I know
Nothing,
said
dude. He has
before,
nothing.
Yeah.
And I think he's debating Rolo and Mike Sartain in 2 weeks. And I told Rolo, like, dude, just don't waste time. Don't give this guy,
Seriously.
yeah, any clout. Like,
I've said
Yeah.
that for a reason too. I'm getting tired of the word debate because a lot of the time it ends up not
it's
even
never
being
a
debate.
fucking debate. No
It's
one's
never
minds
a
are gonna get
debate.
changed.
It's just who says the most snarky thing and then makes people react emotionally the most, and they go, "Oh, he just dissed that other guy. That makes him I like him better just because of that. That means he's right." I mean, yeah, that's why I can't stand debates.
Yeah, it's all just a spectacle. Like no one's watching professional sports anymore because they're all wokeified. So everyone's gonna watch the professional sports of their favorite podcaster duking it out with somebody else. It's
Yeah.
like whatever, man.
Mhm.
Wow.
Go
So
go do
that's
what you
him,
want
huh?
to do.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
He's a goofy looking dude too. Like I don't know
Yeah.
if the facial hair doesn't work for him. In my
doesn't
opinion.
nothing. Dude doesn't lift. He does. Like, I bet you, like, even his girlfriend that he's flaunting, she's with him for a reason, whatever it is. Like, the guy has no frame. Literally, I exposed his frame in 2 tweets. The guy just went on a
A
spurt.
new record.
Yeah. No, yeah,
Yeah.
like, man, right now it's just between 1 to 3 tweets. Like, I did it in 2.
Wait, this is
And
what.
he was
Hold
so
on,
obsessed.
I found the tweet. Holy crap! Why are you mad just because you got ranked one of the worst? I got stardom in real life, man, where it really matters. Not everyone is trying to be YouTube famous like you. Don't project that on me. I do this shit for the lulz with literally throwaway money. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
All right, guys, a serious question. Let's say you have, I don't know, like $1 million in the bank. Would you be online doing this shit? Like,
Fuck
for a
no.
living? For a living.
No, no.
if
Like,
I
these
was,
guys are
I-
doing it on daily basis. Like,
No way.
all right, imagine
Yeah.
if you had that amount of money and you're so successful in life, that means you have a business to run. Okay.
Yep.
And that business doesn't allow you to have the freedom of time to go on a 3-4 hour podcast, just on daily basis, or like, I don't know, weekly basis. Like, you're busy running your shit, dude. Like, guys
Yeah,
who
man.
make money, dude. I've been with so many rich people. Like, it doesn't even show. Like, they don't flex, they don't say anything. Like, you discover by the end of the night that this guy's a fucking billionaire.
Yeah. What's that book
Yeah,
name?
sometimes it's
Millionaire
hard to
Next Door?
tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's-
they're usually like down to earth. Like, I remember like 2-3 months ago, I was at a gathering / party, whatever. So I was chilling with this dude, talking, having a few drinks, and the guy was he was so fascinated by my stories and the stuff I was telling him. We were just shooting shit, having fun. And after he left, my friend told me that this guy. I told him, like, I've seen this guy before. He's like, yeah, he's super famous on Twitter. And the guy's a CEO of a company, and he's super super rich. Like, the guy actually flies a private plane, like, on a weekly basis.
damn.
And he was down to earth. And actually, the guy owns, he made a custom made car that has a bedroom inside it. It's
What?
insane. That's Arab money. Okay, that's Arab money. Like, he has a car that has a bedroom inside it, and it doesn't show from outside. It looks like a just a small van, luxury van.
Wow.
Just so his driver can drive him around and he can sleep in it if he's feeling sleepy or whatever. And the guy was down to earth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Lying low in the weeds, man. That's how it goes. All
Yeah.
right. Let's wrap this one up, boys. This has been fun. Always a pleasure to have a bunch of switched on guys
Yep.
come on and talk about the women and how guys can, not fall for all the bullshit online and actually, start
Mhm.
thinking for themselves. So, all right, let's go around the horn here. Everyone can plug their stuff. Nuke, where can people find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on YouTube, Nuclear, or youtube.com at Khalil Nuclear. I think you tagged me in the YouTube video. I'm not sure, but
I tagged
if
you.
not,
I tagged you
yeah.
on Twitter, but I could definitely tag you in here.
Yeah, and then Twitter.com, same, and then Twitch, same but backwards, Nuclear Khalil on there. Check out, guys. For the followers, check out my interview with Angelo Knight. It's not a debate; it's just us talking. It's a good way to see how to talk to people who defensive and all that stuff, and just getting an understanding. I will be on a really big podcast on the 8th. I'm not gonna say who it is yet, but on the 8th at 6:30, I think I will be interviewed on a 200,000 subscriber podcast. I will make you guys proud. So I'll
Good
do
for
my
you, man.
best.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Nice.
And it's someone outside the red pill space. So
Cool.
So and also it's a very nice person. I am not worried at all. And then other than that, I guys, get me to 400 subscribers. I'm at 388, so get me to 400. Thank you.
Sweet.
Cool. All right, Mish, go ahead, man. Anything to shill except your awesome
Nothing,
Twitter.
just my crazy Twitter, like which I've been calm for the past few days.
Yeah,
But
no,
you
dude, you
can
gotta let it
follow me
rip.
at Chad.
Yeah, it's a calm before the storm. We'll tweet out some more pictures of water cups shaking, and all of a sudden the T-Rex army will.
Oh,
be
I got
back.
it ready. I got it at my disposal.
All right, cool.
Yeah, but you can follow me at Chad of Arabia on Twitter, and that's about it.
Cool. Gov, what do you got, man?
I've got Twitter at GOV_Megatron. I finally broke 400 followers, and that's after finally making some effort and making it more interesting than I did, a decade ago. So I can say, I'm proud of that, but keep it going. And then I'm on YouTube at Governor Megatron, and I am on my way to 350 subscribers. So, 340, 350, whatever, give me some subs too. And I've got some content in the works that I need to just get out there. I've got it written out, but once I get it out there, y'all will know.
All right, cool. I want to take time real quick. We'll thank people in the chat for showing up. We had our friend Kate come in the chat. We had Chesty in here for a bit. We had Bull Rush, the most handsome man in Chicago, Chad Elkins, was in the chat as well. So cool. We had the whole gang in here today. Fun stuff.
It's good.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All right. For myself, check out Twitter. Check out my Substack. I'm gonna post something new on there. I haven't posted a hunting story in a while, and I gotta get back to doing that. So I'm gonna do that. Check out the Old Glory Club for all of your based Americana history and right-wing news. So check that out. That I run with a bunch of other guys. And on Saturday, I'll be on Red Morning with Ryan Stone. So go check that out.
Oh,
But,
interesting.
yeah.
Nice, dude.
But other than that, guys, thanks for coming by, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, give us a reminder about that Red Morning.
Oh yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Cheers, everyone.